Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Buffet. Today, I am alone. I'll be discussing the sequel to Mad Max 2, or also known as The Road Warrior, or also known as Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior. So, this is continuing my journey through watching all of the Mad Max movies. And yeah. Um I'm I re I've watched the first one. I've had my things to say about the first one. You can go check that episode out. It's on our channel, or it's on the YouTube Spotify podcast. It's scroll down a bit though. That released in like February or some shit like that. I don't remember. Uh And now we are going. Now I'm going to do the second one, and I'm going to do Beyond Thunderdome, and I'll take a bit to get to Fury Road, but that's in the future. That's not for me. That's for me. That's not for me now to worry about. So yeah, Mad Max 2 isn't called Mad Max 2. Uh, in the West, yeah, I guess it's not called Mad Max 2 in America. It's called The Road Warrior. And I went with Mad Max 2 because that is its official name. It's not The Road Warrior, but we'll get to that right now. Actually, it the reason why it's called The Road Warrior is because the first movie didn't do well in America, and the distributors wanted to distance themselves from this being a sequel, so they called it The Road Warrior. And apparently, the first time they knew, like, they realized it was a sequel, it was when footage of the first movie was used in its opening prologue. So there's that. Cool. Anyways, yeah. Mad Max 2 is hailed as the best of the Mad Max movies. Aside from Fury Road, people really like Fury Road. I have to give it a rewatch, and eventually I will. And then we will have completed. I will have completed the Mad Max uh, viewings, I guess, until the next one comes out. Which I don't know when the next one's coming out. There's supposed to be another movie, Mad Max. Here we go. Mad Max. Let's see. There's another one supposedly coming out that is called Mad Max: The Wasteland, which 3,000 years longer. What is this based on a movie? On what the fuck, on a movie? Oh, this is George Miller. Okay. Did it do well? Okay. Okay. So I was looking it up. The Word Warrior was advertised quite a bit. Uh, in other movies, around the time of some other movies that George Miller was making, which included 3,000 years, 3,000 years of longing, fucking hell, and Furiosa. It's gonna be another Fury Road prequel, which makes sense. Um. And it says here that George Miller was waiting. It was gonna be a lot of. It was gonna be like Wasteland's gonna be like Furiosa, but he was waiting to see the reception on the movie, and sadly, Furiosa bombed. Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't do well in the box office. Sadly, Furiosa is a great movie, but it didn't do well in the box office. And to be honest, on the grand scheme of things, I don't know what George Miller was thinking making Furiosa. Mad Max is a very good franchise, but Furiosa is a really weird movie because I'm not sure if people, if this is like, if this was the best way forward. I had my doubts on the movie even before we got its like first trailer and such. Like it I don't know. Like I have my doubts on this movie. It wasn't a movie that I thought would do well. It was such a weird thing to do. This character that was introduced in the fourth movie, still like a main character, but generally somebody that, and so it had a big role in that movie. But I don't know. I don't know if she could carry her own movie. She did, and it was very very good. But I don't know how. I don't know if it would have been the best thing to do for an audience, and something that I don't know if the audience would remember that character even after like 9 years after after Fury Road came out. So yeah, and Miller said that he still wants to do Wasteland, but it could be years and years away because he said he wants to focus on other projects. And Furiosa was very, very taxing. It was a very big budget. So yeah, and also Tom Hardy says that doesn't think Wasteland is happening after Furiosa's reception. I hope. I would think that it would do better, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Wasteland would do better. We'll see. If it ever comes out at some point, we'll see if it ever happens. But since George Miller wants to keep doing other things, I'm not sure if he really is interested in doing it at any point. There are some other. I mean, he only has Furiosa currently. Like afterwards, he has Mad Max, Max 2, Max Beyond Thunderdome. He did some others before going back to Mad Max. Like, yeah, I I don't know if he. Let's see here. I don't know if he will come back to it at any point soon, but we'll definitely see if it ever happens. But yeah, I hope that Mad Max isn't dead already. And but yeah, I sincerely hope that we get to see the Wasteland sooner rather than later. But yeah, anyways, aside from that, Mad Max 2 is also hailed as, I think I said it, yeah, the best of the Mad Max movies. Uh and before we kind of get into it, I want to say that the first one didn't feel like what I'm didn't feel like what George Miller wanted Mad Max to be about. I feel like this movie is what, like, I'm not sure if I'm talking if I'm speaking crazy, but I feel like Mad Max 2 is the movie George Miller wanted to make. Um uh but very happy to no control of the final product. Okay. I feel I don't know if this is me talking crazy. There's nothing about this, but Mad Max 2 feels like the movie that George Miller wanted to make. Even though as I read here, it's the other way around, that he made Mad Max and then wanted to revisit the universe. I've always felt like he conceptualized it in a way where this is what he wanted to make, and he used the first one to sort of test the waters as to how crazy he could even get with the universe. And I feel like he could get pretty crazy. He could get pretty crazy. So yeah, I felt like more that the first one was a stepping stone towards towards a Mad Max universe and all that stuff. And this movie is officially the original vision of what George Miller wanted for the franchise. This feels a lot more like what he wanted. And he made the first one to sort of explain, as a lower budget prequel movie for this. And this is what he truly, truly wanted to make. So, is this... Did it deliver? Did Mad Max 2 deliver on what it said to do? And is this a better sequel? Well, I kind of gave it away, but let's find out. Did it do it better? One of my main complaints about Mad Max 1 was that it mostly, is that it didn't really explain a lot about the post-apocalypse, and it very heavily it tried to do a lot more with the post-apocalypse. Like it was like this is a post-apocalyptic world. But yeah. And never really explained. It never really explained in the movie. I never got that. I felt like it was much more crime-ridden than post-apocalyptic. This movie, and what makes me think that this movie was the original plan, was that this movie has the prologue where it tells you what happened. So yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. Starting off with the effects and action. Now, of course, the first one was revolutionary. It had some big stunts with cars and blowing up stuff in here and there. And obviously people slamming it. The main villain slams to the truck. But this movie has a bigger budget. So it could do a lot more with this stuff. And goddamn, does this look good. This is what this is what Mad Max feel like. This is the true feeling of Mad Max. I can tell where Fury Road got its DNA from. I can tell where Furious and Fury Road got its DNA from. Mad Max 2 is, if you liked Fury Road's action, which again, fucking amazing action. This is Fury Road's action if it was filmed in the 80s. It is, and it's not a complaint. That is what it feels like, and it feels good. It's so good. There's like no CGI in this movie, pretty much. It is all practical effects, and it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. It was realistic. I love the action in this movie. There are so many action sequences. It's insane. When Max goes to get the truck, and he brings it, and he's bringing it back. He's getting attacked, and it's like different camera angles and all that stuff. And Gyro Captain is helping him out, and all that. And he's reversing. It's so good. It's so good. And the finale was on the road. He's the one driving. And everyone around, and it's like all chaos around him. He's like getting swarmed from all sides, and he has to fight people off while still driving the truck. God damn it! This is Mad Max. And obviously, I'm kind of looking at it as somebody who started with Fury Road. I know a lot of people started with Fury Road. But somebody looking back and watching this, and I can definitely see where Fury Road got its DNA. Again, like I said, where the entire series after this got its DNA from. It's not terribly brutal. Furiosa was pretty brutal, and this one is definitely sort of the start of that. Somebody gets their 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 head like their fingers chopped off. That's not the biggest part. Somebody gets their head split open. Uh, Another villain gets slammed right into a truck. That's a consistent thing among these movies. Is that what happened to Morton Joe? I know that's not how Dementis died, but right now both villains in the Mad Max movies, in the first movies, died by getting slammed by a truck. Alright, like slamming into a truck. It's wild. That is a wild consistency to have with these movies. But yeah, it's just so good. It's so much better than one. They really one up obviously it's not the biggest budget. Let's be fucking real here. Mad Max 2 has a budget of $4.5 million of Australian dollars. I don't know. Let me convert that real quick. That's my letterbox. I have a letterbox, by the way. It's in the description of both of these things. I'm just gonna close water and we'll fuck it. Australian. Here we go. Australian dollars to Americans in 1970. Okay. USD, AUD. Select year 19. I'm gonna put 1981. Fuck it. This released when? December 24th. And grossed 36 million. That's not bad. Here we go. Ugh. That AI. December 24th. Let's just put it here. Okay, so one. I can't tell what this is. Crazy. That's what? Is this AOD to? I can't tell what this means. Hello? Crazy. Wild even. 19 December 1981. USD to AUD. So $1 US is 0.8 AUD. Australian dollars. That is hard for me to convert. AUD to USD 1981. There we go. From Australian dollars to American. I want to know. Date. No. Can I change the date? This is stupid. Australian to okay. I can't fucking tell. Convert, please. I can't tell what's going on. I don't know what's going on. December 1981. Shit. All right. Whatever. So $1 USD is 0.8. So I don't know how to do that math. I'm fucking stupid. I haven't done math in so long. That's a 2 cent difference or something shit like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. Anyways, wait, I can just do this. AUD to inflation calculator. Here we go. This is such a big fucking detour for no reason. Shit. What's fuck it? 4.5 million AUD to USD 1981. Why am I stupid? Value of 1981. Okay. Sure. This is not what I fucking want. God damn it. Okay, fine. Here we go. So, am I stupid? This is it. Australia. Okay. 4.5. Can I do this? Fine. Rot. Calculate. What is the amount? Oh, 21 million Australian dollars. Yikers. Alright. Fuck. So now, convert this. AUD to USD. I mean, just fucking do this. I don't want 1991. Fuck off. Take this. The fuck is that number? 13 million? 13 million. Alright, so found it. 13 million. That's such a big fucking detour, god damn it. The movie cost 13, like, equivalent to now, the movie cost $13 million. Okay. The movie cost 13 million. Let's convert this. Here we go. What the fuck did I do? No, it's 13 million today. Okay, it's 13 million today. And it made a grand total of 36 million in rentals. I know. Okay, my main point is that this movie cost $13 million today. Okay. So it's a fairly small budget. It is. I might have done a calculation wrong, but I don't know. 13 million. Let's go with 13 million. So, yeah, it's equivalent to 13 million. I know it's a fucking gigantic ass detour, but we do this in media, and yeah, it's a very big difference from the like what $300,000 it took to make initially, the first movie. I don't know how much that is today, but it's insane. Like, okay, $300,000 Australian dollars to 4.5 million, big difference, and they got their money's worth. This movie looks really good, and today, sure, it cost 13 million, but it made quite a bit of money back. It made $126 million in today's money. It made 36 million, but this is what it made. What it equates to today. So $13 million budget, $126 million return. Like today, that's not terrible. That's not that bad. That's very very good. That is very very good. So yeah, Mad Max 2 excels in its action effects. It got its money worth. It looks really good. There's no CGI, so you can't even judge it off of that. Uh, yeah, no, I think Mad Max 2 works on many, many levels of its effects and action. So yeah, let's move on to some characters. Something that Mad Max, like the first one, I feel like didn't have a lot of memorable characters that stuck with the audience and you want to root for them and stuff. This movie definitely fixed that. I had to struggle to find characters to talk about. So in the last movie and now with this movie, there's a lot more. There's a lot more characters that I can talk about and stuff. So let's start off with. Let's start off with Matt. Let's start off with our main character. You know, Mad Max. Of course, now he has finished his transformation into Mad Max. He's now the Road Warrior. And god damn it, I love him. I love him in this movie. He is really good. Of course, he is his normal self. He doesn't talk a lot. He talks a lot sometimes throughout the movie when he's communicating with them, but he only says what he needs to say. He can say a lot. So yeah, I like Mad Max. I like how he's in just kind of a static character. Something that I gotta say about his character, and that might be more about the plot and stuff, is that I wish it was better handled why he comes back. I know like the reasoning why is that Max doesn't really have anywhere else to go. But even then, he kind of easily leaves the others behind. So like he only did it for the sake of doing it. I feel like there should have been a lot more. He doesn't really gain anything out of it. I wish that I wish that Mad Max that we got a little bit more of that, but even like outside of that, I like that. I like what they did with Mad Max in this movie. He is just kind of there, but I like how he impacts the others and how he disagrees with the other characters in this movie. I like that a lot. How he sort of and how he acts and stuff. I like Mad Max in this movie, and he's a character, definitely. Let's put it there. Is it? Fandom, yeah, I'm just stupid. Here we go. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. You're building an interceptor. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Well, I was just looking at the VA interceptor, the Nine Master's card, the VA interceptor, just thinking what kind of happens because he does lose it in this movie. So yeah, I like Mad Max a lot in this movie, and I like how he sort of changes his mind. I just wish that it was better explained aside from just like him wanting to do it. I hope I would have hoped that it's better, but I still like Mad Max, and again how he interacts with other characters and stuff. And that's the best thing I can say. He interacts with other characters and has like an effect on people. Uh, and simplify with our next character, the Gyro Captain. I like a lot the Gyro Captain. I like how he acts. I like how he's very nomadic and does a lot of things like wildly, but he later like he later like becomes part of the tribe with the oil uh people, I guess. The people who refine the oil and stuff. I really like that. And I like how and I like how he learns to do all that and literally leads them. It's a bit sudden how quickly he gets into that tribe, and how he like has to romance this one person. It's fine, I guess. It's yeah, I like his personality. I like uh he's funny. So that's something I can really say about the plot. And anything about this movie is that this movie has tone. Like the last movie, it was very I don't know, like sure, like it didn't need to have jokes, but I like this movie had jokes. I like this movie didn't take itself too seriously, especially with its setting. So yeah, I appreciated what this movie what this movie did. Yeah, I like the Gyro Captain a lot, and I think he's a fun character. Next up is Wes, which is our secondary antagonist. Sort of, uh he wants to take revenge against Max for no reason really. Like that's the thing. He's just kind of crazy. Um, I feel like we could have seen more of him and like maybe like fleshed him out a little, not even like that much, but I would have hoped we saw more of him and to sort of flesh him out because he has like no real reason to hate Max. But aside from that, like I feel like he did his job well. He did meet Max at the beginning, and he did like Max did kill a bunch of some people of him of his, but yeah, he did hurt him. So I guess he has sort of a reason to hate Max and take his revenge upon the people and all that stuff. So I guess he's fine, and him wanting revenge. I feel like that works. But I wish we saw more of him, especially since he's supposed to be one of the big players of the movie. And speaking of big players of the movie, Humongous, our sort of main villain. Humongous is, I guess, the first sort of archetypal Mad Max villain aside from Toe Cutter. God, I'm fucking remember these names now. But yeah, he's sort of like the archetypal one. He's the crazy looking one. He's the first, like, I guess, crazy looking villain. He's a lot more collected than Toe Cutter was or Wes in this movie. So yeah, I like Humongous. So I wish we saw more. Again, I wish we saw more of the villains. I don't even need like a whole character arc and like story and like the backstory. I just want to see more of these characters and how they act and how they behaved. Because I felt like that wasn't the thing that was very prevalent in the movie. Sadly, I know, right? It wasn't a really prevalent thing that was in the movie. So I don't know. I just wish we saw more of the villains overall, but I still like the villains. And I like Humongous. I like how he's not like a brutish person. He looks very brutish. He is wearing almost nothing. He's wearing like a Jason mask, and he's revealing pretty much everything up top. He's like wearing like things like it's like straps pretty much. So yeah, he is not leaving much to the imagination there. Also, I should say that that Wes wears a butt flap. So yeah, It's very apparent sometimes when you see him like hanging off of stuff. But yeah, he has ass chaps or assless chaps. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, yeah, humongous. He's wearing like the best I can describe is like Namor if he wore like straps on his chest that did not cover his pecs and like abs and stuff. It's all bare there. But yeah, I like humongous. I like how he doesn't look like how you he doesn't act how you think he'd act. Yeah, I just wish we saw more of humongous. And the last character I want to talk about is the Pharaoh Kid, which we see a lot of throughout the movie. And he actually turns out to be the narrator of the story that we see at the beginning. And I really enjoy that. I really like that. So yeah, no, and obviously Pharaoh Kid did a lot of stuff. He's like Max has effect on him, and I like that. I like how Max, like I like how Max in this movie isn't just like the world affected Max in the first one, and this one he affects the people around him, in both positive and negative ways, and I really do like that. And we see that in the Feral Kid, where the Feral Kid, he becomes the next leader after the gyro captain dies. That's explained in the epilogue, and he tells the tale of the Road Warrior Mad Max and how he never saw him again. Yeah, and also he has his role in the story. He helps out Max and throughout the ending and stuff. So I really enjoy the Feral Kid here. I think he's a really fun character. I like the little twist that he is the narrator. I feel like that's really cool. And how he continues telling the legend of the Road Warrior and things. But yeah. That's all the characters I really want to mention. Now let's talk about the plot. Uh, so there's a few differences from the first one, really. First of all, I wanted to mention that even though the first one I think is shorter, this movie, check, 96 minutes. That's about right. Yep, there we go. It's a little shorter. Even though this movie is longer, the first one is shorter. I felt like this movie is better paced. Last movie, I felt like it was really weird because it's a good movie, but it takes a while to really get started because it's mostly setting up what's gonna happen. It's setting up Max, setting up a Goose, and like his friendship with Goose and all that stuff. That's mostly what it's setting up. And then like the midpoint, that's when Max like gives up and all that, and he goes and stuff. It's mostly the cataclysmic point of the story happens in the beginning. And we mostly see how that develops throughout. But I think in this movie, it's a quicker pace, and that really helps it. This movie is about one thing only. We have Humongous, and he wants the oil in this oil refinery, and oil is very, very scarce after a war. And the people there want to move the oil to a safer place 2,000 miles from there where they can live happily. And Max wants his take of the oil and in exchange of him helping them. Well, yeah, that's the entire plot, and the plot is mainly just getting the transport over. And what I like is that how this movie sets up its things better. It still sort of takes its time to get to what you want to do, but this movie sets everything up so well that you don't notice it. This movie moves very, very fast. Like, really, really fast. So, I'm not saying that you won't catch things. It's definitely it makes things apparent. But I think it develops its conflicts really well with its characters. I think that it does. It is fast paced, but everything, but it does take its time to really emphasize again the conflicts and the situations and stuff and what they need and they set it up in interesting ways. I enjoy that, and I really like that. I think it's a better movie because of that. It's simpler. It's not that I'm like a dumb or anything, but I just enjoy more. I enjoyed this plot a lot more, and again, we see how Mad Max affects everybody. And it's just a simple plot. It has a fast pace, and I like how in this movie, and kind of goes in hand of what I said earlier, that I feel like this movie is what George Miller originally wanted to do. We have the backstory of the world and how oil scarcity because of the war, and in the wasteland, it's like it's everything goes, and all that stuff. So yeah, seeing all that, I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed I enjoyed seeing like Mad Max and like stuff like and seeing and how the world actually develop and how the world affects the plot of the story. And even then, it's all structured well. It doesn't dwell on one thing. It moves it forward a lot. I like that. I really like this movie. It's fast paced. We get the like, a lot of like the big scenes are the action scenes, and all like those big moments are the action scenes. It's very entertaining. It does its job really well. And also something I want to mention right now is that I love how this movie tells the story of Mad Max. How he's the road warrior. He's a legend. He's a legend. And that sort of like leaves it open. Like where could Mad Max go next? Where is the Road Warrior going next? I feel like that's fun. That's really really good. I love that about like the main hero he becomes selfless at the end. Sure, he just help him out. I feel like that should have been better explained, but it works. I think it really does work. I really really enjoyed it. And this is a vast improvement over. There's no meandering. I like how they still tied into things from the first one. But this is a very standalone movie. And all you need to understand is explain the epilogue, in the prologue, sorry, which again adds to my theory that this is what George Miller wanted to do initially. So yeah, you can watch this movie without having to watch the first one. And you'll understand it pretty well. And it's a very very fun ride throughout. So Mad Max 2 is certainly an improvement over Mad Max 1. It's a very good movie. A ton of fun action, fun characters, fun world, fun. It's a really fun movie. It's just really fun, and it's a great movie overall. So I'm gonna give it an A tier. Yeah, I'm not giving it an S. I didn't like it. Again, I have my problems with it. They're not overtly glaring problems. I feel like the movie is worse because of it, or I guess like slightly worse because of it. It's just things I would have liked to see more. It's some little complaints, but overall, that's the movie. That's it. Mad Max 2 is a really really great movie. A really, really good movie. A great movie. And A tier. Yeah. So, apparently, currently, what I see from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome is that Beyond Thunderdome on IMDb is rated as the lowest Mad Max movie. Still 6.2, but I'm pretty sure Mad Max 1 is 6.7, and this one's like 7.6. Mad Max Reloaded is rated as the best, so maybe if I rewatch it, I'll agree. Maybe it goes in S tier. Who knows? We'll see when I eventually rewatch it. So, I want to see. I want to see where Beyond Thunderdome lies in all this. Maybe it is the worst one. Maybe it's on par with the first one in like B tier. Maybe I like it better. I have some hot takes sometimes. I know this is sort of my cold take, but yeah, I have my fair share of hot takes sometimes. So yeah. Aside from that, yeah, no. What did you guys think about Mad Max 2? Leave in the comments below. All our socials are in the description. If you're listening to this on Spotify, if I can help, follow us if you want to see more of our content. Rate us if you think we're good. If you're listening to this on YouTube, subscribe if you want to see more of our content. Dig in general. Like it if you like the episode. Share it around if you think it's worth sharing around. And that's about it. See ya. Told you guys I would get 2 episodes out today. Hopefully, maybe. But yeah, see ya.